So again, we have a draft interlocal agreement that we have met with them. I have provided that recently to our city attorney, Greg Lee, and he is reviewing that over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be getting back to the tribes on our initial comments on the draft agreement. So again, that is going very well. And again, they have already worked with us to apply for a grant. We first turn in a notice of intent, and then we'll be turning in an application, a full application later this spring on a grant to design and permit the removal, not to actually do the permitting. At the very best, we've estimated that if everything went wonderfully, we got our design and permit grant, and then we turned around and got in a construction grant, at the very earliest that the dam could be removed would be the year 2020. And that's very optimistic. So this is a long-term process. Right now, what we're just trying to get is an interlocal agreement where the tribe agrees to partner with us and help us to do the design, permitting, and eventual removal of that dam, and to work with us to get most of those costs covered by federal and state grants, so those costs are not a burden of the city water payers. And then lastly, on page 20, and that is agreement with Snohomish County PUD. We already have an agreement with PUD to provide us with wholesale water, but it's considered an emergency. We can use it up to 80 days. At the next council meeting, we'll be providing you an amendment to that existing 2012 agreement so that we can continue to use the water for more than just 80 days, but we can use it all year round. But eventually what we want to have is a permanent agreement with PUD. And we've been working with them again for 9 months. It is going very well. We have a draft working outline of that agreement. There's a few key points when you're trying to look out into the future to 2030, 2040, what that means that we need to resolve. That again is going very well. But I just wanted to update council that as of February 10th, we no longer have a certified operator of the treatment plant. And so we no longer are actually operating our treatment plant. We are supplying our water down the transmission main and into our reservoir that's by Emerson Elementary School with PUD water like we have in the past. And we have done that almost every winter for a number of years. When the turbidity levels get high in the river, we can't run our water treatment plant, so we're used to shutting it down. But we'd like to continue to do that. We could go out and look for a new operator. We could try to look for a consultant to come in and do that. But things are going so well on these agreements, and it's much more cost effective today to just buy from the city of Everett and PUD than it is to go out, hire an operator, have the power bill, buy new chemicals, and do all that thing that we need to do 24/7 and meet all the requirements with the Department of Health. That's much more cost effective. More costly today. And as you know, we're on this path to eventually shut it down, and we're moving along very well. So we'd like to continue the way things are and move ahead. And the closing of the water treatment plant, at least temporarily, came faster than we thought. But I think it's well. And again, at any time the council wants to work with us and ask us about that, we can look at ways and identify for you the costs that it would take to turn back that water treatment plant. So are there any questions on the 3 agreements that we're working on and we will bring back to council? Again, our hope is to bring all 3 of those back to the council in 2017. And again, we already have draft agreements on all 3 of those, and they're working forward. Or are there any other questions just regarding our water supply in general?
Yes. First, I want to say thank you for doing all this fine work, and it seems to me that you're doing a great job in coordinating and communicating with these groups that you need to. The question I have is regarding the PUD water and the Everett water. Those are 2 different water sources, are they, Mr. Shore?
They all come from the same source, in that PUD buys their water from Everett. And Everett serves 85% of the entire county, like 500,000 to 600,000 people.
And this is Spada Lake water.
It is Spada Lake water, thank you. And so the PUD does have another source of groundwater that they turn on from time to time. So technically your water could be commingled at times. But the reason why we can't just only serve, we can serve the entire city with City of Everett water, and that's the most cost effective. But we have that 14.6 mile transmission main, and that's where we need to purchase from PUD, is really to serve those about 75 meter customers that are on the transmission main. So most of our water is coming directly from the City of Everett.
Can I follow up question? Sure. So I know part of what you'll be working on in the next months and years, is how to deal with those 70 customers so that are on the transmission line. And so how are you coming with those negotiations?
So really, what we will do there is we will send a letter to them just to describe the process that we've been through, and then set up what we kind of talked about was setting up an individual meeting with them and invite that to them, since they're really the special class of customer. In general terms, though, everyone that I've talked to over a half dozen, they just want to know, oh, you're giving us PUD water? Okay, great. You know what I mean? They just want to know that, because there was, you know, people get concerned that they're going to get cut off, right? That was the concern when they heard that the water treatment plant was going to get shut down. That was the city's plan. Once they found out that they're going to be supplied with PUD water, that has been the big issue. But eventually, yes, we will meet with them and describe kind of this new process and ask any questions they have about the PUD water versus city water or anything like that.
Actually, just cover my question.
Okay.
Tell me, how many, are there employees at the plant right now?
No, there are not.
There are not.
We had 2 employees, and not surprising, in June, when council made the kind of the final policy decision to shut down the water treatment plant, one left in August for other employment, and then the other one left here in February.
Okay.
There's no, I should say, is no longer employed with the city.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
And Councilman Ramble. I just have a question for a comment. Because this has been a discussion in the past, we do not fluoridate our water. City of Everett does PUD fluoridate their water.
And again, they get most of their supply from the city of Everett, so yes, they do.
Okay, thank you. Any other council questions about any public comment?
Good evening, folks. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
After you, Morgan, you're already standing.
Well, ladies first, go ahead.
No, it's all you.
Good evening, Morgan Davis, 206I. This is a slam dunk decision. This council's been dithering on this water issue, having 2 redundant systems for, 10 years, ever since former Mayor Guzak was on the council. This thing's been dragging on and on and on over little things like water rights, and now you even have to vote on whether to keep a water treatment plant operator going when even Mr. Schuer doesn't want one. So it's a slam dunk. Go ahead, plow forward, get this thing over with, save the taxpayers' money, and don't hire another treatment plant operator up there where Lake Rossford and Butte Road. So it's just like my position, only the opposite. I'm the economic development manager. You insisted on hiring a temporary for 6 months. So it's a similar thing, only reversed. You approved keeping on an economic development person, but now I just don't think it save money to the taxpayers. Why waste it? It's just slam dunk decision. And I'd like an update, as I asked before, on who are you going to hire as an economic development person? Maybe you could address that under your comments tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.